How's the SoccerBeat fans? We are back. I've got Cheezboy, Mokoena, Shakes and Ngwenya. We are talking all things trending in South African football today. A very busy weekend, lots happening. Obviously, we had the Chiefs Sundowns game, and there's a lot we have to talk about. A lot's been said in the media. You guys are going to want to catch all of this. We're obviously going to talk about Saleng starting for Bafana. That's a big talking point. We're going to talk about Pirates' January transfer window, how have they fallen so far off the pace behind Sundowns. We're going to talk about Nabi and his comments post-game and how his start to the Kaizer Chiefs era, the Nabi era, has been one of the worst in Kaizer Chiefs' recent history, which is definitely worth talking about. And lastly, we have to talk about Sundowns and their absolute domination. So make sure you stay with us. Boys, we're going to have to start this off by talking about the trending topic. Saleng again feels like it's always there. It's always in the corridors. We have to talk about it. Cheesy, what do you make of the fact that he hasn't trained for 2 months for Orlando Pirates, but Bafana, Chan team, they throw him in and they start him on the weekend? I mean, I don't know about you, but if I hadn't trained for 2 months, I definitely wouldn't be able to start a game after only training for a week. What do you think's really going on there?
Yeah, Mikey, I think it's Saleng that has been training behind closed doors. Obviously, obviously not maybe playing matches, but you could tell
training
that the boy
Cheesy?
has been.
Like, you can't just say like we're training at Virgin Active. Like, it's one thing to
Yeah,
train by yourself,
obviously,
actually train in
like,
training in a football environment. Like, if you get injured for 6 weeks, the physio is never going to let you at your club just train for 1 week and then you start on the weekend. There's always that building up process or whatever. Like, how did they just throw him in? How does that work?
But it shows you that you can do things privately, Mikey. I mean, we are at the stage now or in the time or this modern game where it allows. You got a guy like Vrega. I think you've seen him on the socials. How he trains the guys and stuff. Obviously, match fitness wise could have been a bit of an issue, but you can tell that the boy has been training secretly, which is a good thing, Mikey, because even when you're going through these kind of situations, you always need to keep your body in top shape. Yes, maybe not so good in terms of the minutes and game time wise, but it was great seeing him on the field of play, man. I think once these issues are settled, at least he'll have some minutes under his belt. And also, even I said on the last show, I said the most important thing for him now, because the question was, is he supposed to go for Bafana if he's not playing for Pirates? So yes, I think that was very important, a good decision made by the team and by him, because all you need for him is for him to be on the field of play, Mike. And he did exactly that, on at the call-up, and he's played. It's just that it's just causing a lot of commotion now, because now it's like, yeah, he's playing for Bafana, but why not for Orlando Pirates? I mean, as a people there, you already know that there are issues that are lying under all these things, and the club cannot stop him from playing for the national team. I made an example about myself when I was not playing at the club. As soon as I got the call up, that's the first thing I wanted to do, to go and play, because I'm not training with the team. I'm sometimes training with the reserve team, but that's the best opportunity for me to showcase that, yes, I am ready. All these rumors of me being injured, health-wise, family issues, are just things that I just put out there just to distract the people out there and make them not really get the truth behind it. So by him being on the field, I think he has proven that he is ready and willing to be part of any team that he's going to be playing for. He's just showed it for Bafana.
Yeah. Shakes, then there was a story that came out on the weekend, Sunday World. They said they interviewed Saleng's parents, and they were saying that the boy's depressed because he found out that somebody at Pirates is earning, I don't know, 500,000 rand a month, and he's only on 70,000 rand a month. As someone who came from Mamelodi Sundowns, and you were training with guys and playing with guys that were earning massive amounts of money, and maybe you found out that someone's earning a lot more than you, how does that affect you mentally? As a player that's a teammate, and maybe he's not even playing and you starting every week and he's earning more money than you is. I mean, how do you handle that kind of thing?
Yeah, it's a tough one, Michael, but we're professional footballers, and you have your contracts, and yeah, it's tough. I mean, especially when you're doing well and then you find out somebody else is earning much more than you. But I think what's important for Saleng, man, is that he gets the right advice. He needs to keep focused on playing football more than anything, and leave the issues maybe for his agent or whoever. So I think the advice he's getting sometimes can be a bit of a problem. He's a great player. What we want to see is the Saleng that's playing, proving his worth on the field. I think the best way to show your quality, the best way to show your grievance is by performing on the field, and then going to the office and saying, So I'm happy to see that he's back on the field playing, and yeah, that's what we want to see. Saleng on the field playing. We know he's a good player, he's a quality player. I think he must just keep his focus and yeah, the next time he gets to sign his contract, then he can demand whatever amount he wants, judging from what he's doing on the field.
Once he's signed, Mikey, once you signed, you have signed, my friend. Doesn't matter who comes in January. Maybe they negotiate better on the table. But like Shakes is saying, I agree with Shakes.
To say that we all know as footballers, we've all been in that situation where we find out what somebody else is earning, and you say, how come that oak's earning that much? He's not even playing, or he's not playing well, and here I am, I'm playing week in, week out, and I'm earning peanuts. Look, we're not saying 70,000 Rand, if that's the number, is peanuts, but when you find out that someone's earning 5-6 times more than you, we all know, we've all been there, Cheesy.
Yeah, we've all been there, Mikey, but it also boils down to your negotiations at the table, you and your agent. What have you guys 100%. Discussed? I mean, if your agent put that figure and the club agrees, it's a done deal. And if Shakes comes Mikey, with his player and says, I want half. If Shakes comes in and he says, I want half a bar, definitely, and they sign it. Well, that's a advantage for Shakes and his player, right? So, and you find that the player does not even play, and you are playing regularly, and you overhear in the corridors that, hey, so and so, you know how much so and so is getting? Yes, as me, I was shocked, Mikey, to even hear these players hitting 700,000, 500,000. Hey, Shakes, hey man, hey, why did this not happen years back, man? Happening now. These boys are chowing. These boys are killing it. Yeah. If you are killing it, go to the field and play, Malaka.
Okay, boys, on the topic of Orlando Pirates, let's move on from Saleng. I think people are getting over the story now. We need to talk about the fact that Orlando Pirates, obviously, after this weekend, have dropped massively behind Sundowns. Is now an 18-point gap. Yes, 4 games in hand, but there's still a big gap there. Did Pirates did have a bad transfer window, basically, in January? We obviously let Gilberto go, and we didn't reinforce with anything. And now it looks like just one injury to Sesane, losing Saleng to this whole situation, and now the squad looks really thin, and Sundowns have reinforced with Adams, with centre-backs. Like, Pirates just look like they've lost a lot of distance on Sundowns in one transfer window. Did they mismanage this transfer window, Shakes?
Yeah, Michael, it's always been a point of discussion. Sundowns, all the players that they're signing, I think now it's coming to show why you have such a big squad in the team, because you're playing Champions League, you're playing the league, you're playing all the cup competitions, and Pirates, that's where they are now. And look, now one injury has practically killed them. They don't have a replacement for him. So yeah, it's very important to have a big squad. You can see Sundowns, they're not struggling. They've got players who are resting, who probably going to get a chance on Wednesday to play as well after the gap now that they've opened. So yeah, I think people need to understand when they say Sundowns spend too much money on players. That's the long season, and you can see all the players are coming in handy. You got all the players now. You need to use them.
Yeah. No, Shakes, I'll add on to that as well, Mikey, just for a bit. I think it just tells you the depth that Sundowns has got. I think they've done this a couple of seasons now. They already know it's like a routine now. They know every transfer market they have to get in that 1 or 2 players to bolster where they feel that they need to bolster the squad. I mean, for an example, look, when Aubrey got the red card, I think, Tiwana, the boy, stepped in very well to show that he's always been ready and he has been prepared. And I think something that's been a disadvantage for Orlando Pirates, Mikey. And remember, I think during the window, we were all shocked that they didn't even really go out to the market and maybe get 2 or 3 players. I was hoping they could have gotten an Apollos, because obviously you need to take the load off the Titos, your Mufukengs, just by having another player there. I think that makes the competition a little bit more healthier as well, and it also keeps everybody on their feet. But Mike, as a player, you tend to relax when you know that, man, there's really no one that can come into my position and do what I'm doing. So it's obvious that you're going to be playing all the games, and that leads to fatigue, that leads to injuries, that leads to suspensions. I think that's a lesson learned for Orlando Pirates. We spoke about consistency at the beginning of the season. They managed that really, really well. But now something that they need to work on now is the players that they need to bring in that can carry the squad that is doing well, and also rotating the squad when it is necessary. You cannot wait that you don't have a match so that you can get players rested. No, you can rest players while still having players that are playing either a league match, either a cup game. For example, that Nedbank game, the last Nedbank game they played before they qualified, those are the games where you put in those fringe players. Obviously, have 3-4 of your cores, and then rest the other guys, because you know that the league's a marathon. You still need them. So yeah, I think advice to Orlando Pirates is, when they go into the market, they must make sure they also open their pockets, my friend, and find players, because if they want to compete on all fronts, they need to have a lot of soldiers.
Yeah. Okay, boys, let's go to a quick ad break, but we have to touch on the Nabi comments and just Chiefs' performance in general after the break. So stick with us. We'll see you in a few.
Oh, yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, George hopes he's cooked up the perfect multi-bet. But even if his bets start missing, George keeps smiling. You see, even with multiple misses, George knows he can still win big. A revolution, a revelation, a roaring masterpiece of betting brilliance. Imagine that, multiple misses on his bet slip, and George is still a big winner with the world's first bet saver from Betway.
And we are back. Thanks for sticking with us, SoccerBeat, guys. Make sure you like and subscribe. Shakes, before we get to Nabi, I first want to talk to you about Sundowns and their utter dominance. And something happened this season. Obviously, Manqoba started the season, and they had a tiny bit of a wobble. Obviously, the cup final against Magesi didn't go the way that they hoped. I mean, most teams, because Sundowns were still doing well in the league, would just say, that's fine. Look, one setback, you're doing well in the league, carry on. Sundowns said, hold on, something's not looking right here. There were a few rumors of players not happy. They quickly reacted, and they went into they changed the coach. They got Cardoso, and since then, they have been breaking all the scoring records, all the points records. I think after 20 games, Sundowns have got 54 points. That's a record for Mamelodi Sundowns. Now, this is a team that has been dominating South African football already. And now they've gone ahead and broken their own record, 54 points after 20 games. What can you say about Sundowns, Shakes? The fact that it just took one tiny setback, a couple disgruntled players in the dressing room, and Sundowns act, and they get Cardoso in, and look at the way they've gone on to just kick on and start to absolutely dominate again.
Yeah, to be honest, Mike, I was one of those people who thought, you know what, too soon, man. Manqoba needs to be given more of a chance, in the team. So I was one of those, to be honest. And Sundowns took a decisive decision, and yes, we can all see now that it's paying off. We can't deny it. I mean, the numbers speak for themselves. They're flying, with Cardoso, and it just shows, that the brains within the Sundowns team. Sometimes it's not only about the money. It's about the people you bring in. The scouting, and there's a lot that has to do with what makes Sundowns such a quality team. It wasn't always, they signed us. When Patrice came, and he signed us in the team. The money was there, but the results were not coming. So I think it's when Beto actually came, when things started happening. They gave him a chance to do his own thing, and then you could see the difference now. Sundowns, even him, he was also at some stage being taken off by security at the stadium, with supporters wanting his head. So it was not built in a day. The right decisions that Sundowns makes, the decisiveness, the scouting department, I think, hats off to them for making these decisions.
No.
Yeah.
Shout out to
Guys, quickly,
Masandawana
we have
on
to get
that,
on to
bruh, because
the
it's
Nabi topic.
like you're
I
saying,
just want to
Shakes, you
frame
just
this
need.
question for you guys before we get onto it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I just
You
want to
can.
frame this question for you boys. Nabi, so far this season, after 19 games, Chiefs have lost 8. That's the worst or the most losses Kaizer Chiefs have had at this point of the season since the PSL era. They've also conceded 24 goals, which is the joint worst defensive record that they've had at this point in a PSL season. Now, everyone keeps talking about the project, and the fact is that the numbers are not there, and they're not backing this up with performances. But then in the press conference after the game, he went on to say that, but he loves Kaizer Chiefs, and it's not about the money. If it was about the money, there's teams that are coming in every 3-4 days offering him 3 times as much money as Kaizer Chiefs are offering him, which was a strange comment because, I mean, I don't know why that really is really relevant at all. Why is he telling fans about all these offers that he's getting from everywhere else? And that obviously we had the Tunisia link as well that everyone heard about. And now he's saying that people would pay him 3 times as much as Kaizer Chiefs, and he loves Chiefs. I mean, he's only been at Chiefs for 4 or 5 months. Cheesy, what did you make of those comments?
Feeling the pressure.
Oh, I think he's feeling the pressure. I think the slow cook is a slow cook, man. So like Sheikh said it earlier, they said they are having a slow cook there with the 2 plates. So he's just trying to make the fans understand. I think he's also trying to buy time as well, but also putting out a hand to say, guys, look, I can just jump off the ship if I want to because I have offers, you know. So you can see I'm cooking. So just bear. They said good food takes time to be prepared. So I think he's just sending that kind of a message to the fans. And Chiefs fans are very impatient, you know. But like you're saying, Mikey, I think it's the worst start, you know. And like you said, the last time they ended up 9th on the lock, you know. Obviously, there's still a bit more games to go. I heard him say that. Look, we are getting there. I think if we can put out the performance that we put out against Sundowns, of which is something that I always see Chiefs do when they come up against the big clubs or Pirates, Sundowns. They always perform. You know, it's the worry is just with these other so-called small clubs where they really don't look the part, where they look like everything is dismantled. I'm not gonna lie, Mikey. I think the Chiefs side has improved. The performance-wise, I think they have improved. Results are just not coming, and I just think it's just a phase where the coach is also trying to buy time and make sure that, you know what, I'm trying to get the guys to be more consistent in terms of the results. You know, we lose there and there, and obviously just to bolster their squad as well. He's also maybe trying to buy time so that next season he can also bring in a couple of players. And I'm sure from next season, I don't think he'll probably have excuses because he's been given a lot of time. Manqoba didn't have such time. So he's been given the time. He's been given the weapons. So the Chiefs fans might just be patient, you know, because, yeah, it takes time, Mikey. You know, as much as we all wish Chiefs can get the result and be consistent, but, you know, as a coach, just 5 months in the job, it's a never easier task, Mikey. You know, finding out the league, the type of players you have, that's just massive, you know. So I think even the other coaches in the PSL are really looking at this Chiefs side to be a force to be reckoned with, maybe in the coming season or the third season, just as Orlando Pirates when Coach Rivero joined the ship.
Yeah, just I mean, it's just strange comments for me. I mean, if you had a girlfriend and she told you, no, every 4 or 5 days that somebody is willing to offer her more money and a better life somewhere else, it wouldn't make you feel too comfortable in your relationship. So I don't know how Chiefs fans are feeling that their coach is saying that he always gets offers from other clubs and it's way more money. I mean, Shakes, I don't know really what to make of those comments.
I don't understand that comment where it comes from. I just think it's all the pressure boiling down now. You know, there was a point where I was looking at him and that Sundowns game, and he was just, you know, he looked like he was, you know, out of air. He didn't know what to say, what to do. You know, so yeah, it's the pressure. But for Kaizer Chiefs, for me, I mean, they can't keep doing the same thing. They can't keep getting new coaches all the time, you know. They gave Steve Compella, Gavin Hunt, Kelvin Johnson, and Zeki. I think they need to stick it out. This time around, they need to stick it out, give the guy a chance. There are some positives that we see from Kaizer Chiefs. So I think they need to stick it out with him, give him an opportunity to carry on with that slow cook. One day is going to be the best meal.
One day.
Guys, let us know what you think of Nabi and his comments, and whether you think that this project is going to bear fruit at the end of the road. But that's it from the talking from the SoccerBeat team and all the
Mikey,
topics.
before you close, Mikey, ask the Pirates fans which players they would like to sign at the club. Since we spoke about them not getting into the market, what are the targets that they were looking for? I personally, I was looking at Annapolis. I was looking at them, Loisani. Okay, let me stop. They'll finish at the comment section. Thanks, Mikey.
Yeah. Okay. That's a great one. Yeah. So if you're a Pirates fan, let us know who you would sign. Obviously, January wasn't the most successful transfer window for us. But in the next one, hopefully we can bridge that gap between Sundowns, because they're just cruising. Yeah, guys, thank you very much. And we'll catch you guys in the next one.
Oh, yeah.
SoccerBeat,